Yo, what's going on, man? Today is February the 4th, 2023. It's your boy Chris, and this is the ChrisBeCappinn NBA show, live on Twitter, live on YouTube as well. Coming off a pretty good night overall, 3-2. Not the greatest night, but it still was another profitable night. So I think I think it's 6 or 7 straight nights of profit. 1, 2, and 2 day in there as well. But things have been going better, overall. So hopefully we can keep it going tonight. We got a lot of games to jump into. Um, lot of manipulation with the injury report as well as also as always it feels like, but let's talk about what we do know, what we do have, and see if we can find some winners for today. So hit the like button for me if you guys can, if you're watching on YouTube, watching on Twitter, listening in on Twitter. Appreciate you guys for being here, and let's go. So I did a quick recap already. Let's jump into the games that we have today, and I just want to make sure got the live eye screen up because I know things are changing drastically. Also, got to take into consideration all the trades that could happen at any given moment now, that could change some of these lines, change some of these games for today. So let me just pull up. Um, let me just get the the latest injury news just to make sure we're not missing anything. So Westbrook game time decision with the illness, of course. Bradley Bill listed as out. Embiid questionable. That's tomorrow. Trey Young questionable now with an illness. Uh, Jalen Green. Yeah, so all this stuff is old. So let's jump into it for today, man. So first game up, let's go to this Brooklyn and Washington game. Really, really difficult game to cap. A lot to kind of look at. The Washington Wizards have won 6 games in a row before they had won. Yeah, they had won 6 games in a row before they lost last night to the Portland Trailblazers, and they jumped out on Portland early in that one as well. Uh, just laid an egg in the second half. It was like typical like Washington Wizards stuff before they went on the the winning streak when Bradley Bill came back. So second night of a back to back for them as well. Brooklyn has a lot of turmoil going on, of course, with Kyrie. He's not going to be a part of this game after requesting a trade yesterday. For the people who don't know, you also got Ben Simmons, who's listed as out. T.J. Warren is listed as doubtful, and of course Kevin Durant's going to miss this game. Bradley Bill just got ruled out as well. So the Wizards will have, they'll have Porzingis, they'll have Kyle Kuzma, who should be in for a primetime bounce back game. I was looking at his game log uh, earlier today, and Kyle Kuzma actually been playing like trash the last few days. So it should be a nice game for Kuzma. If you could have got in as soon as Bill got listed on his points, I think they were at 22 and a half. I really, really like that spot there for them. Brooklyn is coming off, a pretty embarrassing loss. I think they lost their game by 30 plus points the other day, in a game where I actually backed them in before Kyrie, requested a trade. This is a triple revenge spot for the Washington Wizards as well. The first 3 games they didn't get demolished, but they lost all 3 of those games. One of them was a push, and Brooklyn won the other 2. Brooklyn beat this team by 40, by 42 to be exact, at the beginning of the season. Then they beat them by 6 as well, and they beat them by 12. So maybe Washington is the better team right now. They actually was hooping before Bradley Bill came back as well. They were playing okay before Bradley Bill came back, and neither one of these teams have a game tomorrow. So no real look ahead spot for either team. I think this one, to me, even without Bradley Bill being there, to me this one kind of feels like a Washington Wizards type game. But I don't I I can't I can't if I'm taking the Wizards, I'm taking them early because they have struggled. They have struggled to score the ball in the second half of games. Is typically when they struggle. So I wouldn't get on them for the full game. With Bradley Bill being listed as out now, they are down. That they did change the spread because the Wizards were 1 point favorites. Now it then flipped back to Brooklyn being 1 point favorites, 1.5 point favorites, depending on where you're looking at the line. So a game with no real superstars, but Porzingis and Kuzma, I think is better than what Brooklyn has without KD and Kyrie. So, look for guys like Sumner to try to step up. Look for guys like Royce O'Neal to play big, Steph Curry to play big. The Washington Wizards did give up, I think, 9 3-pointers yesterday to uh, um, Anthony Simons. Dude absolutely went crazy. So maybe that's Steph today. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, it's a difficult game to cap. I didn't really look at anything from the player prop perspective, but I think that's probably, if I had to play anything, and we did just get news that TJ Warren is listed as out. So I think it's going to make it extremely difficult for this team to score the ball. I think I like the under probably more than anything else. Even if the game starts off pretty fast, I do see it. I do see the pace slowing down in the second half, and I will probably be looking towards the under in this spot. When I had did my notes for this game earlier, I capped it as if Kyrie was going to be in, but I knew he potentially not be in, but I capped it as if he was in, and I also capped it as if Bradley Beal was going to be in. So now that both of those guys are out, I don't really have anything official in this game. Like I said, I'll probably be looking towards the under, but points props might be the better look. Kyle Kuzma points did only go up to 24.5. If I was playing Kyle Kuzma in a game like this where he's probably going to be the primary ball handler, I would probably look at his whole PRA. Like I said, he's coming off, two pretty bad games, but not anything that I took officially. Monte Morris assist probably also in play as well. And you don't really have a lot from even available for the Nets as far as guards. I mean, they have Steph Curry listed and Joe Harris listed, but interesting to see who actually runs that point guard, who the offense run through without KD and Kyrie being out there. So I'm not sure what to do with that game. Moving along, let's go to the next game. So we got the Suns and the Pistons. Line in this one opened at 4.5 in favor of Phoenix as a road favorite, and it's come up to 5 on most books now. So a little bit of money coming in on Phoenix in this spot. Phoenix is coming off a very impressive win last night. So this is a road back-to-back. They beat the Boston Celtics last night by margin as a 10-point dog. We were on the right side in that game. I did take Phoenix, and shout out to everybody who rode with me. I did take Phoenix plus the 10, coming off that 30-plus point loss to the Atlanta Hawks in their last home game before traveling to Boston. So now you get Detroit, which also is on the second leg of a back-to-back. They won last night against Charlotte. Got the under right. Talked about liking the under a little bit more. If you listened to the morning show yesterday, I talked about 240 points, being too many points for two teams that struggle offensively to score the ball. So Charlotte and Detroit looked like they were going to fly over the total. I think the live line was like 252 at halftime, and they didn't even get to they didn't even get to 240. So no offense being scored in the second half. I think Phoenix can get the job done here as well, man. I ran a few queries, and I'll share my screen for the people that are watching on YouTube, just so you guys can see what I was looking at. So the Suns are not in necessarily the greatest spot that you want to back a team in either. They play a lot better on the road as a dog than they do as a favorite. But one of the things that I looked at was looking at the Suns. Looking at looking at the Suns. So this year, looking at let's see, season equals 2022 and team equals Pistons, and just looking at them after a previous home win, they typically don't back up success with success. So you guys can see here on the screen, I'm zooming in just a tad bit. You guys can see this team is only 1-5, 0-6 straight up, but 1-5 against the spread. Just off a previous home win. So they typically don't back up success with success. You guys can see that they failed to cover 4 straight times in a row as well over here. So this is kind of what made me lean towards the Suns. Also, looking at them when they're coming off a home win and they're a home dog. Also 0-2 straight up and 0-2 in this spot as well. So when the next game is at home and they're not favored in that spot, they also lose that game as well. You guys can see that here. And they're losing by about 8 points. The other thing I looked at was, and I'm going to do this pretty quickly. So situationally, right? So a previous away dog, because the Suns were yesterday, and their previous margin was, let's say it was greater than equal to 9 because they were 10-point dogs. And let's say that they won their game, they won their last road game, and they're an away favorite today, and their rest equals 0 because they're playing on the second night of a back-to-back, and their opponent rest also equals 0. And in their opponent win percentage is less than or equal to 40. So you guys can see here, these teams are 22-5. As far as the database goes back to 1995, 22-5, 17-9 against the spread. So 65% says take the Phoenix Suns today in this spot. you see, with these old, some of these games from 1995 and 1997, with some pretty low scoring games back then. But even more recently, you guys can see if we were just to look at 2011, most of these teams actually win. So what I queried was exactly the situation that these teams are in, right? So you get the Suns that were a road dog yesterday, and they were a 9-point road dog yesterday, and they won yesterday as a dog and in a road game. And now they're a road favorite in the next game with no rest, and their opponent also has no rest, and their opponent is a team that wins 40% of their games or less. So this says to take the Suns today. The problem with backing the Suns is that they typically don't play as well on the road as a favorite. So real quick, I'll just look at the Suns as a road favorite. They're only 4-7 against the spread, 4-7 straight up as well. And then if you add that they are not in the conference game, so they're on the East Coast. You see that they're 0-3 straight up and 0-3 against the spread as well. So not a spot. They lost to the 76ers, which is a pretty good team. Lost to the Magic, which we know the Magic can be extremely volatile and play really, really good at times and play poorly at times as well. And then they lost to the Wizards as well. This was on the second night of a back-to-back. I do remember this game. I think that they can beat the Pistons though, but a trend like this would stop me from being able to back the Phoenix Suns today. So I'm on the sidelines in this one. I do lean the over. I think that points are scored in this game. And these are some of the things that I'm looking at and how I actually cap the games and why I don't just, take the easy side. Because I talked about this yesterday. I just want to show you guys one more thing real quick. I talked about the Raptors yesterday. I know a lot of people were high on the Raptors yesterday. And I talked about not being able to get there on the Raptors because they don't play well as a road favorite. 1-8 straight up. I talked about it yesterday. They were 1-7, and you guys see that they did not end up covering yesterday. They won that game by 6. They were 7.5-point favorites at the end, and they have failed to cover 8 games in a row as a road favorite. So do they win? Yeah, they barely win these games, but they win sometimes. Do they cover? No, absolutely not. So only 3-6 straight up as well. These trends show me specifically for the Raptors that they played out in the competition. It also shows me the same thing for the 76. For the Phoenix Suns as well, that they played out in the competition. So that's what makes it difficult for me. I automatically lean towards the Suns because I do think that they should be able to, start stacking up wins and climbing up the Western Conference after they have been playing a lot better more recently. But I'm not on this game, officially on this game at all. So I just wanted to kind of show you guys my process of being able to look at these games. Moving along to the Knicks and the Clippers game is next. I don't really have a lot in this one, man. I do think that we need to figure out if Brunson is going to play. And if Brunson does play, I do like the over. And I'll show you guys a few things I was looking at for that. The Knicks have exceeded my expectations of playing at home this year since Mitchell Robinson got hurt. They got a big win against the Heat the other day while they were shorthanded without Jalen Brunson. I just knew they were going to find a way to lose that game, especially late without his leadership and his ability to be able to kind of take over the game late. But yeah, I can't. I don't know if I could do it again. The Clippers are good, man. They're really, really good. I think they're going to be rested in this spot as well. I want Brunson to come back in, and then I might take the Clippers because I do think we get a better line. And I think this is a winnable game for the Clippers. I don't want to take the Clippers to have to win the game by 2 buckets. I'd rather take the Clippers to win the game by 1 bucket, though. So one thing I looked at as far as the over, I'm going to share my screen again real quick so you guys can see this, and then I'm going to move on to the next game. Let's see. So this year, can't do team equals 2022 because it's not a team. So this year, this season, and so your next rest equals 0, and you're not in a conference game, and your next game is a conference game. Your next game is a conference game, and you're a team that has a winning record. You guys can see here, 11-6 to the over. So let me just say this, because I didn't give a lot of cap for this game. I'm trying to go a little bit faster today, but I probably should slow down, make sure I'm taking my time. So the Knicks are coming off the home win, of course, against the against the who did they beat? They beat the Heat. The Clippers on the other side are coming off the loss, the 1 point loss to the Milwaukee Bucks 2 nights ago. Late start time for them in that game. The Knicks are they have a game tomorrow in Philly, is what I was trying to say. So much bigger game tomorrow versus the Philadelphia 76ers because that's a conference game. And the Cavs game, not as much. So typically you see those games go over, which is what you see here. So what I create is when teams are playing on the first leg of a back-to-back, they have a 50% win percentage or better, and they're playing against a team that's not in their conference, but they play tomorrow, and they also have a game that is a conference game. So you can see that these games go over. 11, 6, and 1 to the over, which is pretty good money, 65%. You guys can see here. And then another thing I looked at for this over is we know that the Clippers tend to go over on the road. So if you just look at the Clippers, team equals Clippers, and when they're on the road and the total is less than 225, less than or equal to 225. Let's see. Less than or equal to 225. The Clippers are 14-4 to the over. So that's good money too. 77.8% of those games actually go over. And you can see the long run of overs right here, even though they did go under with the Cavs. You see a lot of overs in these different situations. So I'm sorry, they went under against the Mavericks, but you see a lot of overs right here. So I lean towards the over in this game. I also got another trend. I'm not gonna pull this one up, but I got another trend that shows that when the Clippers are away favorites and they're not in conference games, those games actually go over at a pretty high rate as well, 5-1 to the over. And then the last thing I looked at was the Clippers with both PG and Kawhi in the game in their road favorite. That's not a conference game, 4-1 to the over as well. So if I had a player in this game, I would be taking the over. If you like the over, you might want to take it now because if Jalen Brunson gets ruled in, which I think Brunson does play in this game. I know he was only, typically when a player misses a game because of an illness, they typically play in the next game. So unless it's something, I don't think it was a COVID related injury. So I think COVID related illness. So I think he does probably play in this game. So I like did we get any more? No, we didn't get anything else. I like this game to go over is what I'm saying. So that would be my look in that game. Didn't really look at player props any. We know that the Clippers, give it up to guards. So PG threes, I think, would be in play in that game. And I think Julius Randle could go crazy because if they got Zubac defending them, it's barbecue chicken. And they don't really have anybody big enough. Robert Covington gonna try his best, but Julius Randle actually been balling. Newly named All-Star as well. So let's move on to the Rockets and the Thunder game. So the Rockets are coming off the home loss, but they did cover last night against the Toronto Raptors on the opposite side. And this is the second leg of a back-to-back for them. Home road back-to-back as well. They will be in Oklahoma City tonight. And the Thunder are coming off, I think they had 1 day rest. They are coming off the loss to the Rockets. So quick revenge spot for them. And this is what we have for them. So shoot, I don't feel like typing. Oh, I don't got that much typing. So real quick, just looking at the Thunder. So this year, if we look at the Thunder and we say that if we're looking at the Rockets and we say that they are playing on 0 days rest equals 0. They are 2-6 against the spread, 1-7 straight up. They've lost and failed to cover 5 games in a row, losing by average of about 12 points. So that'd be good for taking the Thunder on the spread right here. Also, if we add in that their rest equals 0 and their previous site does not equal their current site, which means they had to change gyms. They're 0 oh, I'm sorry. Damn, I thought I was sharing my screen. Hold on. All right. So what I have here is the Rockets when they're in the second leg of a back-to-back. So this is just them unrested, 1-7 straight up, 2-6 against the spread. They failed to cover their last 5 in a row. You guys can see that right here. And then just taking it one step further, if I said that their last site, if they're playing in a separate gym, so they're playing on the second leg of a back-to-back and it's not a home game, not back-to-back home games, they're 0-2 straight up, 0-2 against the spread. You see that they're getting smacked in this spot, 128 to 109. So Wizards will start Morris, Corey Kispert, Porzingis, Daniel Gafford, and Kyle Kuzma. So they're going with a bigger lineup today against the Brooklyn Nets. Probably going to be helpful because the Brooklyn Nets are small, especially without KD, especially without Ben Simmons. So that could hurt them on the inside. Kuzma, Porzingis should actually have a pretty good day as well. But that's besides the point. So getting back to this game, I like the Thunder. I think the Thunder are the right side in this game. There's also a revenge game for them as well. And one thing I looked at was as bad on the Thunder side, as bad as they are on the road as a favorite against teams that have a losing win percentage. So I think this is one of the things I looked at the other day. The Thunder, when they are road favorites and their opponent win percentage is less than or equal to 40, you can see that the Thunder lose these games. This is why they lost the other day to the Rockets. They lose these games to suck teams. They lost to the Pistons already this year, to the Rockets, to the Magic, and to the Rockets again. So they 0-4. But if we flip this, right, and we say that they're not road favorites, but home favorites, and look at their win percentage against teams that have a 40% record, you see that it flips. So they're 3-0 straight up and 3-0 against the spread. In this spot, winning those games by average of 10 points. You see the spread right at 10. I think they can get it done today. Also, injury news. We know that Eric Gordon said he wasn't going to play. I think Jayshawn Tate also got ruled out. I know that Jalen Green got upgraded to questionable. Not 100% sure if he's going to play. If he does play, it might be even better for the Thunder in this one. I like the Thunder today, man. I think you could jump on them first quarter. I think you could jump on them first half. I don't know if I necessarily want to take their team total over if I look towards the Rockets to go under their team total. I think waiting until Jalen Green comes back makes the most sense. I also think that, you can look at it right here. The Rockets in 2 games this season playing on the second leg of a back-to-back when they are traveling from road to home or home to road, they're getting smashed in the first quarter, 36-23 in 2 games that happen to come against the Jazz and the Bucks. So that's what I got for you guys there. I'll be playing the Thunder. First quarter, first half, full game, all that good stuff. I think if you take the first quarter, first half, and full game, I think at least two of those 3 actually end up hitting. So, and shout out to everybody who took the live bet with me last night. I jumped on the Rockets first. I jumped on the Raptors first quarter plus 6.5 after they went down I think they were down 9-0 in the first quarter. They called timeout and Coach Nick Nurse called a timeout, and I knew the boys was going to wake up eventually, and that's what they did. So that's what I'd be looking at for that game. Let's go to the Heat and the Bucks game real quick. I think this is a Bucks spot. The Heat just played the Bucks really, really well. So what I had on this game was I'm not going to put this query in because it's a little too long to write out. But pretty much since 2020, when the Bucks play against the Heat, and it's not a playoff game, and Giannis is in, this team is 2-0 versus the Heat in the past 3 seasons. This is also a double revenge spot for the Bucks as well. The Heat did just beat them 2 times within the last 2 weeks as well. I think it was 2 weekends ago. Drew Holiday played well in those games, but those games were in Miami, and Giannis did not play in those games. Miami has been playing a little bit better, but they do have a few guys listed out in this game. I think Victor Oladipo, who makes a tremendous impact for this team, especially since he's been playing so well. He's listed as out in this game, and I want to say Kyle Lowry has been listed as out as well. The Bucks, starting to put it together, man. This team has won 6 games in a row. They've only covered 3, but they have won 6 games in a row. They've been jumping out on teams early. I think Bucks first quarter could be in play as well. I think Bucks first half could be in play as well. Miami has struggled in the first quarter, first half, and then kind of found their footing. So they don't have a game until Monday. They play in Portland in that game. And on the opposite side, Miami will get a little rest, and they don't actually play until the 8th, which is on Wednesday. They'll be back home. So this is the fourth and final game of a 4-game road trip for them as well. They'll be back home against the Indiana Pacers, coming off the loss against the shorthanded New York Knicks the other day without Jalen Brunson. So the Heat typically play these games. They play these teams very, very well. But Giannis, I feel like, is on a different level right now. Couldn't talk anybody off Giannis props. Him to go over his points, rebounds, and assists. And we know another thing about Miami is they typically give it up to the guards. So Drew Holiday to hit some threes. Couldn't talk anybody off that look as well. But I think if I'm playing anything, I'm looking at the Bucks first quarter, and I'm looking at the Bucks first half as well. Also think that there's something to taking the Bucks, taking the Heat, maybe team total under for the first quarter and first half as well, since they struggle on the road. And they struggle in spots where they're in really in these games that have low totals below 225 points. I want to say is what I looked at. The Heat don't score a lot of points in those games, so sometimes the opponent does, sometimes they don't. But I feel like the Bucks will be winning at the end of the first quarter in the first half, so I'll be looking at the Miami Heat team total to go under, even if they don't catch, even if they don't, even if it's not dictated in the spread. You don't want to play the spread number, so that's what I got for you guys there. 4 more games to touch on real quick. I don't know how the Lakers and the Pelicans game got all the way to the bottom, because this game actually about to start in about 50 minutes, but it should have been up top. Y'all know I'm a diehard Laker fan. I don't really like this game a lot. I don't really like betting on the Lakers. They're really volatile. I bet on them the other day in the first quarter. They decided not to play defense until they gave up 60 plus points in the first half. And they're just, it's my team and I love them, but I can't figure the Lakers out, man. Sometimes they play good for the whole game. Sometimes it's just the first half. Sometimes it's the full game. Like I just sit and watch and keep my money in my pocket. The one look I did have was towards the under, though, and the line is dropped. I was actually hoping it got bet up. Westbrook also is listed as questionable. I think he's probably gonna get downgraded to out. He has a non-COVID related illness that popped up earlier this morning. So this is what I wanted to share with you guys. I was just trying to find a spot for the Pelicans, because the Pelicans have been struggling recently. I think they've lost like what is it, 9 straight games in a row. So let's see how many games the Pelicans have lost in a row. This team is 26-29, which is crazy that they don't have a winning record anymore. When they were just a top 10, they were the number 1 team in the Western Conference before Zion Williamson got hurt. And now you see it here. They've lost 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So they lost 10 games in a row. Did come back against the Mavs, though. Luka got hurt in the third at the end of the third quarter, didn't play the fourth quarter. They were losing big and came back and lost that game by 5 points. Also played the Nuggets really tough in that second game, is in 2 games ago as well. But just kind of ran out of gas in the second half. Jokic put on a triple-double performance yet again. And of course, they got smacked up to the Bucks. So they failed to cover in any of these games. You also see that these games have actually gone under, because they're trying to play defense. I think their offense leads to their defense. Jalen Brunson's listed as questionable. That doesn't help us any. He listed as a game time decision. That doesn't help us any. But so what I wanted to show you guys was I wanted to pull this query in real quick. So season is greater than or equal to 2020, and a team coming off a road loss and another road loss. So 2 road losses and another road loss. So make it 3 road losses. And they were their home favorite, because this actually had it opened at the Pelicans actually being a favorite by 1 point. Then it flipped to the Lakers. Then I think it's back to the Pelicans actually now. So let me just check and make sure. The Pelicans are favored by 1.5 points. So Westbrook means a lot to this, to the Lakers, secondary unit, and also, just the primary, the closing lineup, because he's typically a part of that closing lineup. So teams coming off 3 straight road losses that are home favorites, and their opponent is coming off a road win. So you guys can see here, I've been really attacking the under market, which we had 2 totals yesterday that was above 240. That threshold has been 240. The 2 totals that we had yesterday that were above 240, I talked about them yesterday on the Cash It with Chris morning show. Both of those games went under. I talked about those yesterday. So unders, I think, are hitting at like an 80% rate under 240 since the start of January 1st. So this is another trend right here, 7-2 to the under, when you have a team that's lost 3 straight road games and their home favorite, and their opponent is coming off a road win. So this says to take the Lakers and there was other things as well, of course, not just as one trend, but this trend shows me to take the under in the Lakers and the Pelicans game today. Like I said, the total did go down, because when I capped it last night, it was at 235. and I didn't take it. I was going to because I was like, that's too many points. But then when I woke up this morning, it got bet up to 237. And I was like, well, I'll just let the money keep coming in on it. Then I'll take it. Hopefully it gets up to 230, to 238, 239. But it's already started to drop. So do I like it as much now? No. Will I probably end up still sprinkling on it? Probably so. So, these spreads have been difficult to cap, man. I haven't really, felt extremely confident in backing any of these unless I find something that really, really validates it. And I don't feel like, I feel like this game's a coin flip, right? So I'm not on it. I can see the Lakers winning. I can see the Pelicans breaking out, getting their first win as well. Brandon Ingram has been playing better. And this Pelicans team is extremely, extremely desperate right now. Lakers should be desperate as well to kind of keep climbing up in the Western Conference. But without having Westbrook there, I think that does, hurt the offense, especially from the guard play position when you got to rely on guys like Patrick Beverley. So that's what I got for you guys in that game, man. I didn't play any props either. Braun props. I'll probably end up playing a prop, but I haven't capped anything yet. Try to get through these other 3 games real quick so I can get off here and kick it to you guys. We got about 40 minutes before the games actually start, so I'm gonna try to be done in about 5 minutes, and then kick it to you guys and let everybody else kind of share their look. So I got a really strong trend that backs the Bulls and backs the Nuggets tonight, and I want to share that with you guys as I kind of speed up just a tad bit. So the next game is the Bulls and the Blazers game. So looking at this Blazers team, man, this team has been extremely difficult to cap throughout the season. One thing that I looked at was the spot that the Blazers are in. So the Blazers are coming off 2 really, really, really impressive wins. They were at home for I think it was 7 games in a row, kind of teetering back and forth between wins and losses there. They lost a few games that they should have won a few games that they could have potentially lost as well. They go on the road and beat a Memphis team when they were underdogs in that spot. So they were road dogs. They won that game outright. Then they go to Washington and off 1 day of rest as a dog as well and win that game as well. I don't know if people watched that game. Anthony Simons looked like JJ Redick at Duke or Ray Allen when he was playing for the Heat. Dude, or Supersonics actually. Dude was actually on fire last night. So what I looked at was, typically those teams you kind of got to bottom out somehow. So I'm gonna share my screen one more time and show you guys what I was looking at in this spot. It's actually a trend that backs the Nuggets in this spot as well. So what I looked at was teams coming off. So 2 games ago, you were an away dog and you won. And then in your last game, you were a away dog and you won as well. I mentioned that both the Memphis game and the Washington Wizards game. And now you're an away dog again. So you've been a dog 3 times in a row, coming off 2 wins in that spot. And now your rest is equals to 0 because you're playing on the second leg of a back-to-back. And your previous rest is equal to 1. So you're playing on the 3rd game in 4 nights as well. So you guys can see those teams are 10 and 49. So if you just wanted to do a money line parlay, this has a 83.1% of you cashing the money line play based on this trend. If you wanted to parlay, I'm not doing this, but if you guys wanted to parlay, but you see ATS wise 70% trend that says to take the Trailblazers today. And you guys can see the cluster of losses here. So if we just broke this down and looked at it from pretty much anywhere, honestly. If we just looked at it from the 2012 season. I know this is going back a little ways, but you guys can see 0-19 straight up are these teams that are playing their 3rd game as a road dog in a row, and they're coming off 2 road dogs wins because eventually you got to run out of gas, right? And you're playing on no rest and a 3rd game in 4 nights as well. 5-19, so 74%. If we're playing numbers, 74% trend says just take the Chicago Bulls tonight on the spread because these teams are winning by average of 15 points. So 15 a nice trend right here to back both of these teams because the Hawks are also in the same spot. The Hawks are coming off 2 games ago. They beat the Phoenix Suns and they were 1.5 point dogs in that game. And then they went to Utah last night and they beat Utah as well. So this will be a 3rd game in 4 nights for them as well, and the 2nd night of a back-to-back, playing against the best team in the Western Conference record-wise right now, that being the Denver Nuggets. So this trend just says take both of those teams and don't even really worry about it. Don't even really worry about the spread at all because those teams cover in that spot, and both teams aren't laying that many points, 4.5 and 6. So those were 2 things that I wanted to kind of show you guys in there. Of course, with the Denver Nuggets, I think Jokic and Gordon are both listed as questionable in that game. Trae Young also got downgraded. So, looking at Nuggets first quarter, first half, team total over, I think all of those are absolutely in play. The Nuggets have had a lot of games this year where they've just kind of been at the house chilling, waiting for teams to get there. And they caught a team on the second night of a back-to-back. So, yeah, I think all of those are interesting. Send me a request. Let me know what you guys are on. Hopefully you had a chance to listen to what I shared. Hopefully that was valuable information on whatever it is that you guys want to bet today. And I'll try to get up as many people as I possibly can in probably about the next 15 minutes because this is going to be a shorter show today. I'm going to try to get off about 5:40, 5:45 Eastern time. So send me a request. Let me know what you guys got. I got one more thing I want to look at real quick, but I'm going to try to get up as many people as I possibly can. I want to come to Frag real quick first because he was waiting. KT, I'm going to get to you as well. And Ben, I'm going to come to you next. So Frag, KT, and Ben in that order. What up, Frag?
Yo, Chris, how's it going, man? You hear me?
I'm good. Yeah, you good? What's going on with you? How you doing?
Yeah, man. 2-0 day there yesterday, man. Pacers first quarter came through, and then the sweaty Toronto Raptors -4.5 first half. Gary Trent hit a three with, no seconds left on the clock. So that was super close. I didn't expect them to come out that sluggish. I was kind of surprised by that. But,
hey, real quick, Frag. I don't know if this came out yet, but AD, Mike Trudell, it just came out now. So LeBron, AD, and Westbrook all gonna play. Westbrook has been upgraded to available, so he is in tonight for people who wanted the Lakers before Underdog reported it. Just FYI, just so I get them tips in my phone. But go ahead, Frank. What you got, man?
Yeah, that's a good report on that one. I'm gonna go with. I got two plays. I'm gonna go Wizards money line, man. Here, just strictly fading a team. Just not going to be playing with a point guard. I did it yesterday, but I did it with small sample size as far as just targeting a quarter. But I like Wizards here, full game money line. I think just missing Kyrie and then just all the other players just not knowing if they're even going to be playing for Brooklyn. It's just I feel like it's just a bad spot for them. And I feel like Wizards kind of let one go yesterday as far as against the Blazers. They played really well. It's just couldn't stop Dame, couldn't stop Simons. Even I think Watford had like 20 off the bench. I don't even know who that guy was. He was giving a bucket. So I think they'll come out hungry here. I know Bradley Beal's out, so that's kind of a little bit of a concern. But I think KP and Kuzma can lift the team up and get a win here. And then my second play is going to be Warriors first half. I got -5.5 for the Warriors. 5.5 on the first half. I think just without Luka, I'm just going to target these teams, man. When they're just not playing with their starting point guards, I think it's just a learning curve for them as far as just, trying to make plays and not relying on superstars as far as, just getting buckets and just, when teams go on runs, you go to Luka to, stop the run here and there. So I think Warriors just step on them early, honestly.
So Wizards money line?
Yeah.
And Fred, you taking the Warriors on the first half spread? What'd you get it like -5.5, -6?
I gotta place that one. So that one I haven't placed. I placed the Wizards money line. I'm about to go see what it is right now.
Oh, got you. Okay.
-6. Yeah, I'll take the -6. I got -6 Warriors first half. I think they just step on them early, honestly.
Yeah. Warriors are. So I didn't even really touch on that game, but the Warriors are back home, coming off two losses in a row. They just two bad losses. Yeah, losses that they should have actually won. I don't know. It's some injury, stuff going on in that game, but we know that Luka didn't even make the trip to the Bay, so I could see them getting smashed in this spot. I looked at that earlier, and the Warriors, it wasn't as good as I thought it would be. The Warriors coming off 2 straight road losses and then back at home as a favorite, but I think it's more situational for, like you said, Dallas, where their offense gonna come from without Luka. Christian Wood is also still out, so I like the look there, Fred. Like that look a lot, bro.
Yeah, and then actually I'm gonna add one more play. He had paid me last time, so I'm gonna just go right back to it. It's at a discount too. I'm gonna go back to Joe Val points rebounds. They got it set lower. They got him at 23.5. Just nothing's changed with the Lakers. They still can't defend center, so I think Joe Val could
It's 23 and a half points plus rebounds, right?
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a tick lower. They're at home. They're desperate. I mean, games on TV. I don't really see the reason why the line went down. And I mean, Lakers can't really just stop centers or rebounds. So
Yeah, no, I like it. I like it a lot. Okay. Fred
yeah,
got 3 looks. He got Wizards money line. He got the Warriors. First half minus the 6, and then he got Jonas Valanciunas over 23 and a half points plus rebounds in that spot. Okay. Appreciate the looks, right? Hope you cash them, my boy.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. Ben,
Take
coming.
care,
you too. You too. Have a good night, Fred. Ben, coming to you, and then I'm gonna get Vaughn up. What up, Ben?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good, man. How about yourself?
Last night, little regression, little down night, but like you always say, right? Like even if we lose, we love the spots. It's about the process, not always about the outcome.
That's a fact, yeah.
I guess we now know that Harden, Pascal, and Trey all should be all stars correctly.
Right. All those guys went to bed last night.
No doubt. I'm gonna give 5 plays that I'm on. I'm gonna talk a little more in depth about 2 or 3 of them. So I'm on the Wizards first quarter, just like LJ was. He went Gafford and Porzingis. They're one of the, I think it's like the top net rated starting lineup in the first half since those two started playing alongside each other in the starting lineup. And you couple that with the fact that Brooklyn's without who they're without. I really like Washington plus the half point in the first quarter. I'm on Vucevic over the 35 and a half. This is just a fade of Portland's interior presence. Vucevic and Porzingis play very similarly. They're guys who can score inside. They're tall bodies who can shoot from the outside. You look what Porzingis did last night. He lit it up. This is the highest I've seen Vucevic's PRA line this year. I think it's high for a reason. He went under last game and then moved it up, which to me speaks to an over. So I'm on that. I'm on Giannis points. Again, this is just going to be an auto bet play for me until they adjust these lines. He's averaging like 42 and 14 or 42 and 15 without Bobby Portis this year. And Giannis's numbers are all way up at home versus on the road. And then I like them to win tonight. So I did a 30 in the win and a 35 in the win too. Giannis is averaging 37.2 points per game in wins at home. And he's recorded 30 points in 17 of their 18 home wins. My top play of the day, this is the one I'm going to try to talk, is Ben. Chris, you've done a really good job of saying this in the past too. Whenever we can forecast guys to have at least one shot attempt for how many points scored we need, that's a pretty good place to throw your money at. The last time that Kyrie and KD did not play, Seth Curry took 16 shots. The difference in that game and this game is that in this game, we're also not going to have Ben Simmons and we're not going to have TJ Warren. In that game, those two guys accounted for 23 shots. So you got to figure that Seth Curry is going to account for at least a couple of those shot volume that's now available. I mean, if we get 18, 19, 20 shot attempts from Seth Curry, he's going to soar over to 16 and a half because it's also a plus matchup for shooting guards, both from points and threes. And that's how, Seth's a sharpshooter. He's a really good jump shooter. He's a really good catch and shoot guy. And they're getting Washington on a back to back. Obviously, it's a little, you watch Steph do it all the time where he kind of runs around. I just really like Seth Curry. So that's the best play for me today.
Seth, what you taking them at, Ben?
16 and a half is what I got. I mean, it don't even matter if it moved up for me.
Right, okay. So Seth over 16 and a half, which I was also looking at as well. Seth over 16 and a half points. You got Giannis. What did you get Giannis at, Ben? 34 and a half?
32 and a half is what I got.
32 and a half. Okay, that makes sense because they did drop the total. So I'm pretty sure his points probably a little bit lower as well. Okay. And then what was it? One more, Ben?
Vucevic over the 35.5.
That's what it was. That's what it was. Yeah. So I actually really endorse that one as well, Ben. We keep picking on Portland. Especially if they're not gonna have their. I mean, I'm not sure how much better he is, but Nurkic I think is a better defender than what's the backup guy name?
You got Eubanks.
Yeah, Eubanks. Yeah, Drew Eubanks. That's who I was thinking about. I couldn't think of his name. He's a much better defender than him, and I like that. Especially, road travel, second leg of a back-to-back third game in 4 nights. Like you said, I think it's half for a reason, like you said, man. Yeah, I think it's half for a reason, like you said. And I see them smash. I think the Bulls smash the Blazers tonight. Not because they're that much better of a team, but just because they're in a really, really bad spot. So I like betting spots in the NBA. And I think that this is a smash spot for them, especially the Bulls being on their third game at home in a row as well. So like that look a lot, Ben. Like those looks a lot, bro. I appreciate you sharing them and best of luck.
I appreciate it. You too.
All right, let me kick it to Vaughn real quick, and then if I don't got any more requests, I'm gonna get up out of here, man. Let me go to Vaughn real quick. Let's see, did Vaughn get connected? Vaughn, can you hear me? Vaughn, can you hear me? Nah, Vaughn somewhere in the sticks. He ain't got no reception right now. And I don't got no more requests, man. So I mean I can go back through and give you guys what I'm looking at in these games. And for full disclosure, I haven't bet anything yet, but I'm definitely locking in a few plays tonight. I like the slate too much to not lock in a few of these games. I mean, y'all know it's the weekend, it's Saturday, it gets crazy on Saturday. So do what you want with that information. But I do think there are a few looks to like tonight as well. So real quick, let's see what we got in the comment section on YouTube. We got the Nuggets first quarter -2.5, first half -4, team total over 119. It all seems way too easy. Can anyone talk me off? Daniel said that. I can't talk you off of any of those, Daniel. If I had to make 3 plays in that game, that'd probably be the way I'm looking to. Nuggets first quarter -2.5, first half -4, and team total to go over 120. I just need Jokic in. I need Jokic in because he's the head of that snake, and they actually become a much better defensive team without him. They have to play better defense because he provides so much of the offense. So without Jokic, they don't score as many points without him. He facilitates. He's the head of the snake with that team, and they become better defensively because they actually, quite frankly, because they have to without him. So I like all 3 of those looks, Daniel. Markel said he took the Nuggets full game. A little nervous, but it's whatever. I still like him full game, Markel. I think you jump on him now because if he's ruled in, if Nurk is ruled, if Jokic is ruled in, the number's gonna go up. I think it might get up to maybe 8.5, 9 points, especially if Trae Young sits too. So just some things to kind of take into consideration. Also, the Suns don't. I mean, not the Suns. The Atlanta Hawks not playing the greatest defense right now. What do you think about Chris Paul double tonight, Chris? I could see his double hitting tonight. Didn't like his assist last night in that game. Well, 2 nights ago. But I like Chris Paul tonight. I could see that hitting. What else y'all see in the chat? And my bet slip, but I'm liking SGA 30 points, Giddey 20 points, J Will 15, and K Will 10 points. If you know the Wills, you know who we talking about. That's a Thunder ticket. Giddey, points, rebounds, and assists over 33.5 for Swaggy D. Mad Stoney said Giannis missed the last 2 games versus the Heat. I think he plays tonight. It's game over for the Heat. I like that as well. Markel said he took the Bucks first half -3. Couldn't talk anybody off that. Markel also, let's see what else. We got any more bets? Run the SDQL on the Nets without KD and Kyrie. I don't even think that they played a game, Hart, without KD and Kyrie. But I can look at that real quick. Let's see. So I don't think they played a game without both of them this year. Let's see if I'm wrong. Kyrie, Irving, and if they did, maybe Ben Simmons probably was in, but not in, and then Kevin Durant. So they actually played 2 games. I'll share my screen so you guys can see this. Then I'm getting up out of here, man. This is a good one, though, because I hadn't thought about this. So Nets, 2 games this year without KD and Kyrie. They're 1-1 in that spot. Lost to the Spurs. Oh yeah, this was recently. Lost to the Spurs, and then earlier in the season they went into Indiana and beat the Pacers. I remember that game. They set everybody in that game and still won that game by 3 points. I do remember that one. Caught the Pacers slipping. That was on a Saturday. Yep, I do. I remember doing a show that day. So yeah, that's the query without those two guys. I think they look more like the game against the Spurs than the one they did against the Pacers. But I'm not sure, man. What I do know for sure is that anytime you lose by 30, you got to come with something. And I think they gotta come out here with something tonight. So that's why it makes it a difficult game to me. I think if you like the Wizards, you might want to jump on them early. But I also see the Nets, if they got anything, it's probably going to be early as well. You will have to adjust. Both of these teams are going to have to adjust today because the Wizards were 6-0, against the spread and straight up with Bradley Beal, and 6-1 until yesterday when they lost. So they're gonna have to adjust back to not everybody else gonna have to shift back into their role without him, right? And then on the opposite side, no KD and no Kyrie and no Ben Simmons. So everybody on this team is also gonna have to step up a little bit as well. So it makes it a pretty difficult game to cap for me as far as we don't have a lot of sample size, with these different situations. And even in those games, I think Ben Simmons may have played. So let me add one more. Let's add Ben Simmons not in player list either. And just want to know. So this was the only game that happened against the Pacers, and they caught the Pacers slipping. This is a triple revenge spot for the Wizards. So it's a lot of different factors in this game, man. A lot of different factors. Take what you absolutely love, though. That's what I'll say about this one. Take what you absolutely love. Matt Stoney said 11 Ingram here, regardless of who plays. I like Ingram a lot tonight as well, man. Revenge game for him against the Lakers. 5th game back. He's starting to look better. And I'm not sure who we have that's going to guard him. Rui Hachimura, good luck for him. Took a true gamble on Schroeder's assists and rebounds going over last game. Think he ended up with 5 or 6. Beautiful plus money. I don't know if I can do it again here, though. I wouldn't do it. Under in the Bucks game and took under in Tyler Hero rebounds. Okay. What else y'all said? Bulls and Suns parlay. Okay. Mavs. I don't see too many other plays. How do you feel about Aiden props tonight? Aiden should eat, man. I'm not sure how well they play in this game, if they're gonna come into this game with the same level of focus that they had the last game. But if Aiden can get whatever it is that he wants, if he can do that to Boston last night, he can definitely do it to this team tonight. So I couldn't talk you off the Aiden look. Could not talk you off Aiden props tonight. Yeah, it's just do you get up for a game like this? Do you get up for it? A road, coming off a big win, like, do you still have that motivation to go out here and bust up the Detroit Pistons as well? You already beat Detroit one time this season. I think they beat them by 6 in Phoenix. You didn't cover that game. Do you want to win this game? Do you want to go crazy in this game? Who plays well, right? Like, I don't know. It's a difficult game for me to, difficult prop for me to cap. 1780 Guap said, Golden State team total, no Luka, not liking Dallas chances. Dude put up 21 or more in the first half. And then Washington wins, right? I think Washington should win, but it's like I said, it's a difficult game for me, man. Difficult game. A lot of comments in here. I'm trying to get through all of them. I can't, man. Cam Thomas masterclass incoming. I mean, you have to look at Cam Thomas. I think that's a really good look by Nick in the chat. Cam Thomas will have the ball in his hands. He's a certified bucket getter. If you know anything about Cam Thomas, he could play 40 minutes in this game tonight. If they really, if it's really a close game. I'm not sure if his props are available, but if they are, I'd be putting a little something on Cam Thomas, man. Definitely a little something on Cam Thomas. I like the look, Nick. I like the look a lot, man. Kuzma sucks lately. I think it's a bounce back game for Kuzma today, especially without Bradley Beal. And it makes sense, right? Kuzma doesn't play it like Porzingis, Beal, and Kuzma can't all have 25 points because they just don't. Like, I don't even think they play that many games together for all of them to feel like they have enough chemistry. We see what happened when Bradley Beal come back and they finally get a few games underneath their belt where all 3 of them get a chance to play. They go 6-1 against the spread and straight up. So I think Kuzma regresses. I think he regresses back to the mean today. So yeah, I like it. FanDuel won't drop his lines though. Yeah, check your other books, man. If you guys have other sports books for Cam Thomas props, I would at least put a little sprinkle on Cam Thomas tonight. I like Butler rebounds plus assists unless they get dusted early. Okay. Kuzma points under have been lovely. Yeah. Yeah. He do got that dog in him, Nick. He definitely does, man. Nothing available. Check 5 minutes before tip. FanDuel may have it. Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. I'll be looking at Cam Thomas props. I know that Ben talked about Seth Curry. I mean, of course, it's going to take, it's going to be more than one guy, hopefully, that scores, close to, 18 points or more in this game. And it could definitely be Seth Curry and it could be Cam Thomas. So I like the looks there. I like the looks there a lot. So going back through real quick, I'm gonna just go through and tell you guys what I'm liking in each of these spots. So real quick, Washington versus Brooklyn. Difficult game, but we just kind of talked about it. Cam Thomas props, Seth Curry props, Phoenix versus Detroit. Really difficult game to cap. I like the over. It's going up. I liked it at 227. It's all the way up to 229 now. I see, Phoenix being able to get whatever it is that they want because I don't see Detroit playing a lot of defense. Detroit also plays at a fast pace. I think Chris Paul slows the pace down, but this game could go a little bit faster and more points could be scored than expected. Also think Phoenix wins and covers, but not enough to bet it. Could be a flat spot for them after a big win last night in Boston on the second leg of a back-to-back. The Clippers and the Knicks. I'm not gonna make a call in this game until I know the news of RJ Barrett. Not RJ Barrett, Jalen Brunson. He means that much to props on pretty much both sides. I do think PG could, hit a few threes in this game. The Knicks give it up. We know that they give it up to the 3-point line. So I'll be looking at, his threes, not anything that I played officially. I do like the Oklahoma City Thunder, though. I think the Thunder smacked the Rockets tonight. I absolutely do. I'm probably going to end up playing the first quarter and the first half, but I haven't played either yet. Also probably play full game. I think it's a spot where you just bet all three, and you probably win 2 out of the 3, if not 3 out of 3. So I like the spot for the Oklahoma City Thunder a lot tonight with Rockets on the second leg of a back-to-back and the revenge factor being there. The Heat and the Bucks, I'll be looking at Milwaukee early. I think Milwaukee wins the first quarter, wins the first half. I think Ben also talked about Giannis points. I really like Giannis to, kind of continue to just keep crushing everybody. Dude's been absolutely on fire lately. We also know Miami is extremely vulnerable to the 3-point line. So I'll be looking at some 3-point props as well. Probably, Drew Holiday. He's going to take his fair share every single game. And then really hard to pick for me between Pat Connaughton, Grayson Allen, Javon Carter, Wesley Matthews, Brooke Lopez. They got a lot of guys that shoot 3-pointers. So I'll probably lean towards Drew Holiday to be safe, but I could see any of those other guys kind of knocking down jumpers as well. As Miami tries to build a wall to slow down Giannis, and he's kind of kicking it out to the other guys. Spreading that one also up to 6. I think Milwaukee wins that game. I'm not sure if it's going to be by 6 points or not, though. Lakers and the Pelicans. I think I lean Lakers. I think that they win the game. Not anything that I'm betting officially. Also lean under. Total look like it's going back up just a tad bit. I think the game goes under the 233. But I like the better at the 237 that it was at earlier, so I'm not official on that either. Portland and Chicago, I really like Chicago in this spot. It's more of a system play for me. I showed you guys the query. I think Chicago wins the game by 7-8 points tonight. And the same thing with the Atlanta and Denver game. I think once Jokic and Aaron Gordon are ruled in, I think they win that game by 10 points tonight against Atlanta. And then Golden State and Dallas, I think Spencer Dinwiddie's in, but of course Luka didn't make the trip. You got to see what's going on with Golden State, but Golden State should absolutely smash Dallas. I'll be looking at Dallas team total to go under in that spot. Total in the full game has come down from 231 to 225, and you got a 9.5 point spread, which means, that's what, 112.5, and then you subtract 4, so about 108.5. You either look at that or you look at the Golden State Warriors to go over their team total. I think I like the over a little bit more than the under. 76ers kind of burnt this yesterday on the under because they let the San Antonio Spurs with their C team actually come out there and score, more than 120 points in that spot yesterday. So don't really like that one as much, but I would look towards Golden State probably go over their team total coming back home off 2 losses. So those are the top looks on the board today, man. I didn't play anything officially, but those are the ways that I'd be looking, man. If you jumped in late, also I know Ben mentioned Vucevic over his PRA. I think he crushes the Portland Trailblazers tonight. Couldn't talk anybody off that look as well. and Giannis as well. So, and I kind of talked about Giannis already. So those are the top looks for me, man. Like I said, I didn't place anything yet, but I am going to go through and put a few official bets in. Top looks would be, I think, the Thunder in the first quarter in the first half, the Bucks in the first quarter in the first half, the Lakers full game, Chicago on the money line, Denver on the money line. As long as Jokic and Aaron Gordon are ruled in. And I also think that the Washington Wizards, win that game as well. First quarter, first half, but I'm definitely not betting that one. So those are the looks for me, man. Best of luck to you guys tonight. None of this is financial consultation. It's all theory, logic, query, trends, SDL, and eye tests, all that good stuff. Bet with your head, man, not over it. Probably won't do a show tomorrow, but if I find something that I really like, maybe I'll just do a show. So if you guys join late or you're new to the community, definitely check out the YouTube show that I do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 7 a.m. Also, these shows are always recorded on YouTube as well. The ChrisBeCappinn NBA show. Subscribe to the YouTube page. Hit the like button for me if you guys can as well. Best of luck to you guys tonight. And let's cash some tickets, man. Let's cash some tickets. That's what we're here for. Best of luck, y'all. I'm out.